In this episode, I will show you how I do maintenance on my bogies. Stick around! Hi and welcome to a new episode. Today I have this Class 37, which is giving me some trouble on the track. Well, the problem is it needs some maintenance. I've had it for a few months now. I bought it second hand. I didn't check it, I just put it on the track, programmed it and let it run, and it's done about 5 kilometers so far around my track. So I think it's time to give it some maintenance. I can see some excessive oil in there, which I'm sure has reached its way around the wheels and on the contact. So what I'm going to show you today is I'm going to dismantle one bogie. I don't need to show you both. I'm going to take it apart and clean it and show you how that's done. This is a grain parish, Class 37. Most bogies I've come across, both grain parish and Dapple, they almost all open the same way. They all come apart the same way. Some minor changes from one to another, but basically they're all the same. So if you manage to do one, you should find your way around the other brands. So for that, I think I'm going to clear up here and get started. Okay, I'm going to start with the front bogie. I can't tell you it's the front because on my front bogies I don't use a coupling. I just leave them for the rear. Easier to tell these bi-directional locos which way front is. Anyway, at the very back of the frame there is this slot here, and you can tell there's a pin in there. Difficult to see on camera, but believe me, it's there. This part of the frame, of the bogie, and the frame are separate. So if you insert something slightly and wedge them apart like that, you can push the frame down like that and free the whole gear set from the frame. Look at that oil. You can separate them like that. Now that they are apart, you can start cleaning the frame, and then we'll talk about how to dismantle this part here. So let me just clean this up and put it to the side, and then I'll get back to you about this. As you can see, I cleaned the frame. It's very easy. I just put in, I squeeze in some paper napkins in there, and then I have a paintbrush, and I brush it off and collect whatever is in there and wipe off the paintbrush. So that's the easy part done. Now this. Now you can take off all the wheels in one go if you want, but to avoid the contacts from either getting out of place or falling off completely, in some cases I've had that, especially on the older versions of the bogies, I like to remove one set of wheels at a time. So I tilt it to one side slightly and push down with a tool to free up the shaft from inside the frame. As you can see, it's already out from one side, and I do the same on the other side. And now the wheel is free. As you can see here, the contacts will bounce out. I mean, they're meant to be bent outwards to have some leverage against the inside of the wheels for contact. Now, first thing I'm going to do is clean up here. In this case, it's not dirty. I'm noticed here, dirty, but I still wipe them with my favorite product on a cotton bud. But first I want to wipe off the excess oil I can see here, and do the same on the wheels, and I'll get back to you. So here I'm going to clean up this oily mess here, and all over the area which I have exposed. And this way I am sure to have a much better contact and better performance throughout. Now, I am not going to say what I use on my cotton buds, because I don't want to start a war about, well, this isn't good, and that isn't good, and that does this, and that does that. I mean, for all I care, you can use sulfuric acid on your trains if it works for you. Happy you, happy me. And I'm happy with using my product. So, that's nice and clean. I will do the same on the other side here. Oops. On the other side here, on the wheels. Very likely because there's no dirt in here, as I can see. I know my cotton bud is dirty, but it's not that bad. Let me put some more product on off camera before I get arrested. And oops, too much. That will evaporate anyway in no time. Make sure I made both sides. There. And once we're at it, obviously we clean the surfaces here which hits the track. Oops. Come back. Oh, now I lost it. Can't see with the camera in the way. So this is the dirty side. I can see it from the other side. Oh yeah, wait, I think we'll need a bit harsher methods. Wow, look at that. Ooh, look at that coming off. I don't want to press very hard. Oh, look at that orange peel. I don't want to press very hard because I don't want to scratch the surface. I used to clean my wheels before using a steel brush. I thought this was perfect until I scratched them so much that I took the glaze away, and the brass or whatever material it was, yellowish, under all this started appearing, and under the lens I could see it was all scratched. So you can imagine all the dirt that was gathering in them. I ended up replacing them. That was my class 142, I can't come up with the name right now, the pacer. And I ended up changing all 4 sets on both trains that I have. So that's one done. So you've seen me do that, you see me do this. Now off camera I'm going to do the rest, and then I'll show you how I put one wheel back on. Until then. Okay, now that we've extracted all the dirt here from that one bogie, I'm going to show you how I put these back on. Now as you can see, and I explained before, the contacts spring out and you can't just slip it in because the contacts will go on the outside of the wheels. So I hope you can see this with my fingers in the way, but what I do is I get as close as I can and squeeze the contacts together. Can you see them? I hope so. And then somehow I managed to push the wheel over the slots where the shaft goes in. Now I can't show you with my finger in the way, but at least like this. The contact there is already behind the wheel, and ooh, that one is out. So I have to lift up a bit, and lift up a bit, push the contact back, and there, now it's behind as well. So now I can push the wheel into place. Click, click, and there we are. All the contacts are behind the wheels, and it's important obviously because that's where they're meant to be, and without those contacts your train won't be going anywhere. Now we have a nice clean gear set here, nice clean set of wheels with clean contacts. Now what's left is to put the whole thing back into the frame. So we're going to reverse what we originally did in the beginning. So this pin here, which you couldn't see before, Let me show it to you. Here, the pin here. It's all black, I don't know how much you can see, but anyway, that needs to go in there. But we start from the front. Put the front wheels in. There's a pin in the front as well. It goes into place. Push this down to the back. The pin is on top of the frame, and if you put some force, click, it will click well, and you can slightly move it over. There you are, and it goes into place, and there you have a nice, clean, completely reassembled bogie. If you do this regularly on your locos, you will enjoy driving your trains a lot more, because most of the hassle and aggravation that you get on your layout is when your trains stop, mostly on points or around the curve, because the wheels tend to shift from one side to the other, and most of the time when they shift, if you have an oval layout and most of your turns are to one side, then the chances are that the dirt is accumulating mostly on one side, and when the train goes around that particular side of the bend, the wheels shift to the opposite side, where the clean side isn't making any contact anymore. Anyway, I hope this helps. I'm going to assemble this now, and after I've done the other bogie, and I'll give it a little spin and show you. Until then. And 3, 2, and here we have it on the layout. I'm going to start it off on a very short automatic route. It's going to stop some place around the layout on the other side of the room. That's a nice smooth start. Excuse the shaking of the camera, it's in my hand. I like how smooth it is now. It wouldn't do any of this before. It was horrible. I have to keep pushing it to start. Passing by the recently converted 31. Lights are working, great. Going over the lift up section, yep. Coming around the bend. Through the upper, under the CC TV. Through the little DMU station. Past the little village. Little village. Through the sun. And now it's going down to the lower level. Now the view is going to be obstructed with a lot of junk. I'm sorry about this. It's coming down to the lower level now. More junk. That's where we started from, up there. Through the tunnel. Out from there. Cross over to this side of the track. Over the lift up section again. Through the tunnel. Out there. And down to the pedal yard. To meet the rest of the fleet. And that was it. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it's of some help. Let me know if I can be of help to you. Thanks for watching. Until the next one.